Let's talk about this deal that you have going on right now. How did you find this deal?
So this was through marketing. So we do our marketing through text campaigns, cold calls. Sometimes we do email marketing, things like that, and then some agent outreach as well. This was a foreclosure, and what we had reached out to him via text message, basically to say, hey, have you done anything about the foreclosure coming up? He responded and basically said, not a lot, I'm kind of stuck just sitting on it. And he had already moved from the property, and he was paying on 2 different properties at the time. Yeah. So this property was in Austin, and what we had done is gotten in touch with the guy, basically talked to him about what his property would sell for if it was a cash offer that we could provide, and why it couldn't sell on the market, just because what he needed, it was much more than what the property was worth, right? So he didn't have a lot of equity. And that is why I wanted to do subject to it. We went through the whole contract with it. We showed our verbiage, everything within that on subject to. And that's something where they really wanted to make sure, their biggest pain was that they wanted to make sure that the insurance was covered out of their name after the deed transfers over. And that was not a problem at all, right? So that was their biggest pain point, but he didn't want to keep making payments on the property because it's in Austin, and the taxes are ridiculous.
What was the challenge with this particular deal?
The challenge really was getting him to close it. So we got him on sub 2, and we had paperwork submitted. We needed him. What he was doing was he was going to Indonesia at the time of closing, and we had to make sure that we can align the ducks, right? To make sure that his time zone and our time zone were the same for closing on it, because we needed a mobile notary with our title company to get all that in place. That was the biggest challenge, I would say. And then the initial challenge really was just to get them to accept with sub 2. And he didn't need any cash at closing. So that was great, because it was something where we're taking over your already very expensive bill, and we're making payments on that going forward. And that is something that we could tell him, listen, this is a huge burden on your end. Let us take that over. So that was our biggest point on negotiating with him on the subject to side.
So with that particular, did you do wholesale? Did you do a fix and flip?
Yeah, so we ended up putting it on the Facebook group because it was way too tight. We didn't even think we were going to sell this. It was way too tight, and we put it on the Facebook group, and it just so happened there was a guy in Austin that was looking for a new homestead.
And that's where do your marketing with the zip codes that people want to keep a buy and hold. It's easy to wholesale doing fix and flip. Because sometimes when we want to do market everywhere, I'm like, guys, who is buying there? There's no one. And doesn't matter, it sounds great, but they haven't sold nothing there for a year and a half.
Yeah.
So don't do any market, don't spend your time there. But that's great, because if it's an Austin area, people will want to buy.
Right, and my favorite part about this deal is the way we got creative on the assignment fee. So originally we were talking about it to say, hey, we could set it up for a $10,000 assignment fee due at closing, or because he had another flip going on and he needed to make sure that he could get his funds in place after that flip sold. That was going to be down the road. So we said, instead of $10,000, let's set it up at $20,000. But we want it to be paid month to month. So it's $1,000 every month. We set up a promissory note with him to where he's paying us every month $1,000 on that assignment. It's a way to pull that wholesale fee out and expand it, but also get residual income that, it's not like a rent check or anything like that where you have to do any maintenance or anything like that.
So how much money did you make? So you made $20,000 for this particular deal?
Yep, and it's currently still paying out.
It's still paying. That's great. I love the fact that you're still making money on this deal. That was tight, but it's Austin. It's a hot market.
Right.
Everybody wants a deal in Austin, even as a buying hold. How much has real estate transformed your life?
Oh, like leaps and bounds, honestly. So I remember I was having my existential crisis on my W-2, selling boxes, thinking my entire life is just going to be talking about cardboard for the next 40 years. And then, 2 years into this, going through the struggles and then coming to the top of the mountains, getting paid, living like I want to live. That was something that totally transformed it, because originally I was thinking, all right, so I can only live on this much per month. and it's just coming from what I'm getting paid on my W-2 plus commission, things like that. And now it's more so I've seen the bottom of it. I've seen, the top for me on my standards. I've seen the top for it, and I'm in control of it. I can figure out how I can put the effort in to be rewarded properly for whatever I need to do with it. And it's really, I think, something where I can understand the ebbs and flows of life, right? I didn't think I could really see that as much